Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important function of transform method, that is rotate, SkewX and SkewY. So in this session, we will discuss what is rotate function, what is SkewX function and what is a SkewY function. We will see example for each function, we'll try different angles or values for these function. But before we start the discussion, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Okay, now what we will do, we will simply create one program where we will put some kind of shapes, maybe a rectangle, and on that rectangle we will try all these functions. Okay, alright, so I think now we are good to start the practical portion of the session. And here you can see the code is very straightforward. I have just noted down one title in the head section, and there is one heading which is showing HTML by Tech Sharmit. So now if you save this and refresh the browser, just give me a moment. Yeah, so now you can see if I refresh the browser, it is showing this HTML by Tech Sharmit. Okay, now let's add few more heading here which will show the topics that we are going to learn today. So here I will write transform function in SVG. Okay, so we just put this thing. Now what we will do after this we will put another subheading, and this heading will show the topic or function name. So first function we will learn here is rotate. So I'll write rotate function. Then we will put another heading H3 where we will put SkewX function. Okay, I'll tell you each and every function, don't worry, we will see the practical example as well. And right now we are just adding it, okay, just titles. Then we will put here H3, and here I will put the third function which is SkewY function. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that transform function in SVG is the main heading, and then we have three functions that we are going to learn today, which is rotate, SkewX and SkewY. Okay, fine. But before learning and discussing about these functions, what we need SVG, because these all things will be drawn on one SVG screen. So let's add the SVG. So here I will write Scalable Vector Graphic element, which is SVG. After adding this, we are good to start with the attributes. So here we can apply some attributes which are the basic attribute like height, width and style. So let's apply width. Width would be 1000 pixel. Then we will apply height. Height would be 500 per pixel. Then we will apply some style just to show the border. So border 5px solid black. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that one SVG has been added on the screen. Now on this SVG, what we will do, we will include some shapes on which we will apply all these three functions, rotate, SkewX and SkewY. So let's add the rectangle. I'm assuming you know how to draw the rectangle, because this thing we have already discussed in previous session. Not only rectangle, you can use any shape, maybe ellipse, circle or anything which you want to use with these three functions, rotate, SkewX and SkewY. But for this example, we are going to use rect. Rect is for rectangle. Okay, so once you note this thing rect, now we are supposed to pass all the attribute that we can use with rect. So here I'll put the x value as 50, y value as 5, width as 40, height as 40, and then we are supposed to fill this shape. So you can fill it with any color. You can fill it with red color, blue color, yellow color, whatever you want to use, but here in this case I'll use blue. In fact, you can use gradient as well, because we have already discussed this thing, like how to create a gradient effect, right? Fine. So once you added this thing, now save the code, refresh the browser, you will see that one normal rectangle has been added on the screen. Okay, don't get confused and don't compare it with a square, although like it looks like a square, but it's a rectangle. We are using a rect keyword, right? So with rect keyword we have just created this thing. Don't go in the mathematical terms, okay? Just assume it's a rectangle, a proper rectangle. Now what we will do, we will apply the transform function rotate here, just to rotate this thing into a particular degree. Okay, so let's make it easy. So just assume a scenario, we want to show this rectangle in a diamond shape. So for that purpose, what we will do, we will rotate it. So how to rotate it? So to rotate this thing, you can simply write here the function which is transform. So main function is transform function. In this transform function, we will use rotate, and in rotate we will put the degree. So here I'm providing the degree as 45. Just put 45 and then save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that now this rectangle has been rotated by 45 degree and it is looking like this. Remember one thing, we have not drawn any diamond shape, right? This is the rectangle only, but we have rotated this rectangle by a 45 degree, and that's why it is coming like this. Clear? Now the next question is, can we change the degree? Yes, of course you can change. Let's say if instead of 45 you want to use it for 25 degree, so you can save it and refresh it. So now this rectangle has been rotated by 25 degree. Clear? So this is how you can use rotate function in order to rotate an object by a particular degree. So in an interview, if someone asks you what is rotate function, so you can simply answer, rotate function is used to rotate an object by a degree. Okay, in this example we can see that blue rectangle is rotated with 45 degree. Clear? So this is the first function we discussed, rotate function. Now the next function is SkewX function. What is a SkewX function? SkewX function is a function that is used to skew an object along the x-axis by a degree. Okay, so when you want to skew a particular object by along the x-axis by a degree, then in that case we will use SkewX. So let me write and show you how to use SkewX function. So you just need to write transform. Okay, I'm re-editing this thing because just to save the time, and here we will write what? We will write here SkewX, and then we can provide the degree. So here let's say if I want to skew it by 30 degree, so I can save it and refresh it. So now you can see this rectangle has been skewed. Skewed means tilted. In which direction? In along the x-axis by 30 degree. Clear? So this is how we can utilize SkewX function. Now those who understand this thing, now they can easily relate with SkewY, because in case of SkewY things is opposite. Here the object is skewing in along the x-axis, but in SkewY scenario object will be skewed along the y-axis. Clear? So what changes we are supposed to do here for SkewY? Just go here, let me add it again. I'm rewriting it again and again so that you can understand that yes, we have to put transform first, then we will put SkewY, then we will put the degree and save it. Now you refresh it. So now in this situation it is skewed along the y-axis by a 30 degree. And degrees are not fixed, you can use any degree. Let's say if I want to make 60 degree, so in 60 degree it would look like this. Clear? Same goes with SkewX. In case of SkewX also you can use any degree, but make sure that it is coming in the SVG, otherwise you need to extend the SVG value. SVG. Okay, fine. So in this session we discussed three functions. The first function is rotate function, which is used to rotate an object by a degree. Then we have SkewX function. This function is mainly used to skew an object along the x-axis by a degree. Then we have SkewY. The SkewY function is used to skew an object along the y-axis by a degree. Okay, so I hope these all transformation function is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.